What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Yapping Hours Season 2. I'm here with Crimsonite and Terrellion. We're back at it again. This video is going to be talking about Marvel Rivals versus Overwatch. Marvel Rivals has been a big thing. It's been taking over Overwatch's spot, it seems. Make sure, of course, like, subscribe, and comment down below. We appreciate it. We read everything that is in our comment section. So, tell us your thoughts about this topic, too. But we're first going to start out with Crimsonite. He's been playing OG Overwatch, the first one, more so than I have, and definitely more so than Terrellion has. So we're going to let him talk about Overwatch 1, and then we can jump into Overwatch 2, like the timeline. So, Crim, go ahead.
Yeah, to be honest, I've been playing this since 2016. That's when the game dropped up. Okay. Anyways, the game started off very good. It basically started off like Marvel Rivals. Like, it was a quick pickup game. It was a game you can quickly pick up, have some fun, comp and all that. There was no role queue. It was basically Marvel Rivals before Marvel Rivals. But then Overwatch 2 came along, and then it's just one problem after a problem. When it was either greed, it was either what was going on with character balancing, character modes. It went downhill entirely. And I just hate the fact that it had to come to that. Like, I was one of those, Overwatch motherfuckers. I would play that game nonstop. But then I'm over it.
Well, I mean, with Overwatch 1, they kind of started, like, doing other shit, especially with, what's his name? Jeff Kaplan, I think his name is.
There you go. And then it was until Jeff Kaplan left, where I believe that's when the game started to go downhill.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people say.
Yeah, and I don't know why he left. It was like an out of nowhere announcement. He just says, "Yeah, I'm done working with the game."
Fuck you, bitch ass niggas. I'm out.
Something must have been going on for him to make that decision. But
yeah,
ever since he left, the game went downhill.
I remember reading about that.
The good things from Overwatch 1 is, like, again, like, for example, money wise specifically, because let's be real, a lot of people play games. And one of the biggest problems in modern gaming is like how you have to buy everything, whether it's a skin, character, or whatsoever. In Overwatch 1, you did not have to worry about that because you can literally get everything and anything for free because of loot boxes. Those $20 to $30 skins now in Overwatch 2 were absolutely free in Overwatch 1 because of the loot boxes. All you had to do was level up. Every time you leveled up, you got a loot box. That's basically it. And
Did you get dailies? Was there daily loot boxes too?
At one point, yeah. It was you had to do arcade mode, and after a certain amount of wins in arcade, I think it was like 9 wins. Every time you got 9 wins, you would get a free loot box. So the game, you would just basically play the game, and of course you would want to play the game because it's fun, and you get a reward out of it, and that's why people love the thing. You can get basically. Again, skins that are $20, $30 now were absolutely free in Overwatch 1. And all you had to do was play the game.
In Overwatch 1's defense, didn't it have a price tag?
Yes, it was $60 and it was like the first big hero shooter. So they kind of it was like
they made the rules.
It was the new TF2.
Yeah, it was the new TF2, but TF2 was exclusive to PC. I'm probably wrong on that, but not a lot of people really knew about TF2, if I'm not mistaken. It's more of like a boomer PC gamer niche, right? And then Blizzard came in and was like, we're gonna show you guys how it's done, and we're gonna show you guys how to make a lot brighter, visually spectacular characters and stuff like that, and they took over. But Overwatch 2, when they're charging for skins now because they have to make money somehow, right? Because the game's free to play.
Because it's free.
Yeah,
that is true.
Which actually leads us to our next thing, which
I just wish the prices weren't over the top. My bad, Rainbow. By the
way. Yeah, thank you. We're actually gonna talk about what Overwatch 2 has brought to the table. This is as of recently too. The 3 big things is loot boxes, hero perks, and 6v6. So since Krim usually plays more Overwatch than we do, we'll let him start off about his reaction to loot boxes and all that.
Honestly, okay, so again, most people have been saying that it's a desperate attempt to, compete with Marvel Rivals, and I
Yep.
will agree with that. And I've seen,
Mhm.
big Overwatch fans online, they will complain saying, is like, how is it a desperate attempt? Like, you guys were asking for this, and then now that they actually do it, it's a desperate attempt. And it's like, yes, it is still a desperate attempt because we've been asking for this 2 years ago when Overwatch 2 dropped, and now they're doing it because their player base has dropped significantly and Marvel Rivals is out. So yes, even though they're actually doing it after we've been asking for it, it's a desperate attempt because they could have done it a long time ago, and it's just now until these specific things happen where you want to do it.
Yeah, and wow.
My-
No, right in my ear. Like, all right.
yeah,
Bro, dude, I thought
and
you were
then
doing some airbending.
if I'm not mistaken, you can't. Another thing is like I haven't been playing Overwatch. Well, I got banned, but that's besides the point. From
Yeah,
what I've been reading online, you can't get as much loot. Like I think you can get like 2 or 3 loot boxes at a time, and I don't know how long it is. And then again, it's like they're still doing it in a bad way because in Overwatch 1, again, you can get as much loot boxes as you want if you just kept playing the
but
game.
but that's the thing though. They can't go crazy with it because people are gonna like,
Yeah,
oh, how many
money.
bucks can I get? Okay, one when I log in, one when I win a couple of games, and okay, I'll just play that.
Yeah, and then nobody's gonna
Keep
put
going.
money into it. They're trying to get some
That's I mean, I guess I could
TX.
see it from business wise, but like still, well, I will say though that the perks are pretty cool, and I hate the
Right.
fact that I got banned before the perks. But at the same time, I don't think the perks is big enough to save the game, if that makes sense. It's like it is
That's
just a
fair.
minor
But
change.
I mean,
Like
no,
not
go
going
ahead.
on.
Oh, I was just gonna say, real quick, the perk system does look sick. Like I didn't play Overwatch 1 at all, because I played the beta. No, not the beta. I'm sorry. I played the free weekend of Overwatch 1.
Yeah.
And when I played the free weekend, I looked at the roster and I was like, this roster looks horrible. It looks boring to me. But there's one
Men,
character that looked
women.
cool, which was no. I mean, it looks boring. And there's one character that looked cool to me, which was Genji, because I love
Hmm.
swords, ninjas, assassins, all that stuff, right? So I booted up the game in training mode, and I'm expecting Genji's gonna be slashing his sword all around and shit, and he's just throwing shurikens. And then I
Yeah, his
immediately
sword is only for the ultimate.
yes, and then I immediately uninstalled the game. Um,
The rage uninstall.
but I played Overwatch 2 because a lot of other people were hyping it up. Everybody else was playing it, so I was like, you know what, I'll give it a shot. It was fun. But the perk system though, if the perk system was in the game when I was playing it, I think I would have stayed even longer. Because I've been looking at it, like the trailer. I saw not a trailer. I saw like an ad on Twitch about it. It looks really good. Like I saw Torbjorn was throwing turrets on walls and shit. I'm just like, dude, what?
What the fuck? I should have behaved myself.
Yeah, like I don't know
I should have
what
set
all
the
the perks.
or
I don't know what all the perks are, but I just saw that Torbjorn could throw his turret and it just like stays on a wall now. Like you can throw it
I
on
don't.
ceilings, walls, everything, and it just shoots from those weird positions and weird angles.
Yeah.
I
It's
don't.
pretty
I
cool.
don't. I don't know the perks exactly myself too, but I saw because one of the characters that I really had fun before I was banned was Juno. She became one of my favorite characters. But I don't know, some of the perks look kind of stupid at the same time. It was basically a choice between. It was basically a would you rather have $1 or $2 type
I'd
shit.
rather. I'd rather.
Oh no!
I noticed
Would
that
you rather
you.
have $2 or a
Or
$2
$1.
bill? Is that what you mean? Like a two $1 bills or like a $2 bill?
Yeah, like some of the perks were stupid. If I'm not mistaken, I think the perks for Juno, which was the support I was playing before I got banned, was because Juno before the perks, one of the things she had is that she couldn't land headshots for some reason. So one of the perks is you can land headshots with Juno, and you could do crazy damage with Juno without headshots already. And then I think the other perk, if I'm not mistaken, was something like double jump. I'm like, dude,
Well,
be for fucking real
Well,
here. Why would I want?
I get what you're saying. Like one of them is utility, and then the other one's just like, okay, if your aim is godly, you're just gonna this character becomes broken now.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know any of the perks outside of the one I told you, but I'm curious to know what the perks are. I should have looked into it a little bit.
Yeah, me too. So
Well,
I guess we can't really touch too heavy on that topic because we ourselves don't know
you,
too much about the perks.
you know what though? Is I love how you put your emphasis on how you got banned just playing on PC. But what y'all didn't mention, well, before I get into that, I will say the hero perks is definitely a good shakeup. I kind of looked into it before we recorded, but basically, like, there's different levels. So you go level 1 is just base, and then you get to level 2, that's when you choose the perks. But if you switch your character, you kind of go back down, and then there's like a level 3. So it's like you kind of like
You're rewarded for staying on one character.
yeah,
That's
like, yeah,
sick. I like that. So that there's less. There's people won't just constantly keep counter picking you, and you're.
right.
That's how. Oh my god. That's how these games should be played. Oh my
And
god.
that's another thing. What is it? I wish I
Download
had
now.
like that.
Download right now.
I actually wish that I had the numbers with me. I don't have the numbers on me, but I'm on Twitter a lot. Y'all know that. And another recent post that I saw on Overwatch was that I guess counter picking has dropped significantly.
Of course.
And and
That's
then
so
that was
good.
that was one of the major problems with Overwatch 2 is because it was just a giant game of counter pick and it became so boring. Like, oh, this character's running Genji, might as well go Sombra. And then at the very end of it, everybody's just running Sombra, Orisa, Mauga, and that shit was so annoying.
Everybody's just running like laser characters and shit. That
and
Genji
it got to the
can't
point where
reflect,
it literally got to the point where is if you're not running like these 3 specific characters, you're literally throwing the game, and I did not like that. Which is why Marvel Rivals is sick because you can literally run just about anybody and win the game. Like
at one point, they
counter
had like
pick
an
is not big. Like literally the only counter pick I can think about with Marvel Rivals is Wolverine. If you see like 2 tanks, just go Wolverine. That's why he's the most banned character in Diamond Plus. Well, besides Bruce Banner. But like other than that, there's not too many counter picks in Marvel Rivals.
Here's the thing. Here's the crazy part. I know you just talked about characters, and speaking of characters, you're actually gonna get more characters on your screen when you also play 6v6 in Overwatch. Gee, I wonder why.
Marvel Rivals. I mean, we don't need to linger on that one too much, unless you guys have something crazy to say.
They still have roleplay with it, but now they added like another player. Gee, I wonder why.
Yeah.
Okay.
It should have been that way.
Also, I was gonna say this is just a me. I don't know. I don't know what anybody else thinks about it, but I honestly think a role queue in Overwatch is low-key kind of stupid.
Low-key?
Like,
okay.
Because it forces a team comp. You gotta have 2. You gotta have, where Marvel Rivals, the meta right now, which is very fucking annoying, is 3 supports. You can do 2, but then there's a whole bunch of mixes. You can run 3 DPS, 2 supports, 1 tank. But in Overwatch, you had to run 2, 2, and 2.
Oh, hold on, I see it's for like grasping at like breasts or some shit.
I was gonna say I disagree with you. I actually love that Overwatch forces you to have 2 tanks, 2 DPS, and 2 supports, because then the current big issue right now in Marvel Rivals is even if you're playing like casual, you go into a game, you go into a match, you want to have fun, and everybody's like, yeah, we want to have fun too. And what class does everybody have fun with?
Well, it starts with a D and ends with an S.
It's duelist. Nobody wants to play support, and people also don't want to play tank because tanks are kind of weak, right? You're just a bullet sponge. Everybody wants to run around and be powerful with the duelist.
Yeah, and that's a problem with Hero Shooters is the tanks tend to.
Okay, but there's 2 different things about that. Okay, you're complaining about, I would say, like quick play because that happens on quick play, but when you go to comp, everybody's running triple support, and that shit's so boring.
And yes, but you mentioned that you like Marvel Rivals for that reason. The reason that you're able to pick whatever type of strategy you want to go for, and you're not locked to anything. But I personally believe you should be locked to stuff. Like when you queue into a game, it should work how it works in Overwatch. Like, hey, when I boot up into this ranked match, I'm gonna be tank. When I boot up into this ranked match, I'm gonna be support. Like that's how it should work.
But I guess, okay, in a way that makes sense, but at the same time, in short, what I'm trying to say, it shouldn't be 2, 2, and 2. Because it feels like it's a forced comp. And with a game like this, there's going to be a bunch of experimenting, and 2 and 2 and 2 isn't always going to work.
Well, here's the thing. I'm actually kind of glad you brought that up because it sounds like you like Marvel Rivals better than Overwatch for the
Oh,
freedom of it.
of course, yeah.
Right. So that brings up the question, what does Marvel Rivals do better than Overwatch at this current state of time? I know we're going to have different opinions on this, but
Okay,
of course.
then you say yours first, Krim, and then I can go.
And then I
I,
can go after, obviously.
I don't know. I feel like Marvel Rivals is just a bunch of things. Like for example, one of my personal favorite things with Marvel Rivals is the game devs themselves. They listen to the fans. They'll take like a bunch of their comments and then they'll fix it as soon as possible. Whereas Overwatch, I don't know. I feel like they just completely ignore their player base.
They were ignoring because they were running shit. They didn't need to listen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like for
What
example,
was
like
that? We had to
like
listen to you?
like for example, again, specific characters, Sombra, Overwatch. I mean, like Sombra, Orisa, they were like the biggest problems in Overwatch too. And
Summer was
then
hard to balance.
like what is it? Seasons, and several seasons would go by, and people would be like, "Please fix Orisa, please fix Sombra," and then the game devs would literally, let's buff Orisa, let's nerf Genji while we're at it. Like, nigga, what?
Yeah,
What
polar
the
That was,
fuck
I,
are
opposite.
you
remember,
doing?
I remember that was a
Yeah,
meme too, just like nerf Genji. I
yeah.
remember that meme in Overwatch 1. It was so
That
fucking
shit
funny.
was so annoying.
What about you, Rainbow?
I think like I like Marvel Rivals just because, as annoying as it is, especially in ranked, if you're solo queuing, the freedom, because it kind of brings back those Overwatch 1 days of just like, all right, everybody, let's just run Torbjorn, 6 Torbjorns, let's fucking go. Like you
Dude.
could like, it could be fun.
Well, you can't all pick the same character, but you're basically saying you have the freedom
No,
to
no,
choose.
you literally could pick the same character. Like
No, in Overwatch-
in Marvel Rivals, because we're talking
Yeah,
about what you
but-
like better, right?
Right, but it brings that nostalgia of like running crazy shit, like how
Yeah.
Overwatch 1 did.
I know. I'm just saying that you can't all pick Black
Oh, yeah,
Panther,
yeah,
but
I'm-
you can pick any class you want and run with whatever.
Right.
I get what you're
Yeah,
saying.
like, I'm not gonna lie. I'm glad that none of them allow you to pick the same character, because I would actually like end it all if I booted up Marvel Rivals and I'm facing against 6 fucking Moon Knights. I would never
That's
touch Marvel
easy.
Rivals.
That's actually trash. If you're running 6 Moon Knights, that's a horrible comp. The most broken comp, and the reason why they'll never be able to pick 6 of the same character, would be like 6 Spider-Man. Like you can't kill them. They're just gonna web swing to every health pack immediately. They're all unkillable, and 2 of them are gonna jump you and just insta kill you, combo you. Like it's actually unstoppable. They're not trackable.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, do you remember
No,
when
that's
we
true. That's
played-
true. That's true. But you already know me. I'm just a certified Moon Knight hater.
Hold on. Do you remember when we played a game and everyone was just picking duelists and we're just like, yeah, we're gonna be stubborn and we're all picking duelists and we just fought for the health packs.
Once I think about it, I think that was like one of the very few problems Overwatch 1 had, was where you were able to choose more of the same character, because you would boot up comp and everybody would literally run 3 Reinhardts with like a 2000 health shield, and then it was either 3 Reinhardts and then it was either choose your poison, 3 Torbjorns or 3 Bastions. I'm like, bro, this is not fun. Fuck you guys.
the one that I had that I like about Marvel Rivals over Overwatch is that Marvel Rivals wasn't afraid to incorporate melee characters. This was something that Overwatch just for whatever reason didn't want to do. I guess it's because it's the first person shooter, and like I've played with somebody that said like melee characters are boring and they don't require skill, blah blah blah. And we got into a whole argument about it, but I think
Off camera.
Yeah, off camera. Not with any of these guys, by the way. It was somebody completely different. But we all love melee characters here. I think melee characters was a great inclusion into the game because it adds a completely different layer of what would you say, like skill, or like there's new opportunities. A layer of depth, I guess, because there's characters that shoot guns and you have characters that punch. So now those punching characters have to figure out how to close the gap to punch the shooter. You know what I mean?
And the shooters have to get the fuck away from them.
Yes.
Once you think about it, that's super true. Because I'm like thinking about the DPS guy. I hardly play DPS, but I'm like thinking about the DPS characters that I do play, and all of them are all like brawlers. Like I play Magic. My favorite one right now is Mr. Fantastic. I like Spider-Man,
It's like
Wolverine.
hybrid, I'd say.
Yeah, but I don't really like I don't really like the projectile or the gun characters. And now that you say it, I'm thinking about it, I'm like, oh damn, brawlers are actually the most fun characters
They
in
are
this game.
the most fun. In my opinion, they're the most fun. Crim's opinion. I don't know about Rainbow's.
No, I think they're fun too, especially when you can see the 3D third person view. Yeah.
It's just fun to see the third person view, and you're like playing a Black Panther, and you're clawing at somebody, throwing spears, dashing, closing that gap. Like it's a whole different layer to the game.
Also,
that Overwatch didn't have. Yeah.
I don't know if you're cool with like me talking about this right now, but like while we're on the topic of like characters, one of the things that I've seen Overwatch or Overwatch haters, I would say, complain about Overwatch is the characters. They would basically say, oh, Marvel Rivals is better because the game dropped and it has like I don't know how many characters, 30, 40, while Overwatch has that over 6 years and they only get new characters every season. And for me, that I guess that in a way makes sense because more characters, more faster for Rivals. We all know that. But at the same time, in Overwatch's defense, you gotta remember Marvel Rivals is a game filled with characters that already have a bunch of lore.
Comics, comics and movies and shit.
Yeah, so literally all you gotta do is bring it to the game. While Overwatch is new characters, you gotta create a whole story, you gotta create a whole lore. So that's the only defense I gotta say for Overwatch. Like
that's definitely true.
They have a good reason for having little characters over 6 years, and then taking their time making new characters.
Well, it sucks that their lore is kind of dog shit now. The thing I was the
final part I was gonna say, sorry about that, Rainbow, is please stop making every new character inclusive. All right, Rainbow, you go.
Yeah. You just had to throw a little jab in there. I was wondering when the little fucking
okay. Let's be real. Like let's be for real. Overwatch 1, no one was fucking gay. Literally the only gay characters the only gay character. And no, by the way, I'm not homophobic or transphobic any of the sort. But what I'm saying, yeah. Any fucking ways, okay? Doxing. All I'm saying.
Cut it out.
all I'm saying is that inclusivity is good, but like when you get to a point where it's like, okay, chill. Like we don't need all that inclusivity because, I feel like at a point it just feels forced. Maybe it's just me, and I don't want to sound homophobic or racist, which I'm not. But like at Overwatch 1, the only gay character was Soldier and Tracer. But then in Overwatch 2, I felt like they were like, oh shit, how do we get more player base? Oh, I know, LGBT. Like and again,
every character just started coming out. Like the characters actually had a brain and a mind to think, and they just started coming out.
Like literally, your favorite Overwatch character, Terrellion, he like out of nowhere he just became bisexual. Like
Bap.
Yeah, Baptiste came out bisexual out of nowhere.
It's fine. He came out bisexual by the time I stopped playing the game. Like he realized I wasn't playing him, and he's like, "Oh fuck it, like, I need more people to play me. I'm bisexual, guys. Come play me."
I win.
And then they made Tan Weaver. Like, it's just like, okay, don't get me wrong.
Hold on. Before you continue, like this is a. You know what? I'm gonna make my own YouTube video about this. All right, so let's chill out for a second.
No. Okay, I'm not gonna get into deep it, but all I'm saying is that
we get your point. We get your point. It was getting too woke and inclusive. I got you. Yeah. Let's wrap it up.
You really hit the. Hey, I'm not gonna speak too much of it, but
2 hours later.
Last
point here.
The thing I was actually gonna say before we continue. The thing I was actually gonna say I like is the cosmetics and like how good of a price there. That's what I was gonna mention.
In Overwatch?
No, in Marvel Rivals.
Okay, thank you. I was gonna say Overwatch got some of the worst skins.
Speaking of Overwatch, now that it's things changed because of Marvel Rivals and how they're essentially getting dethroned, does Overwatch stand a chance with all the new changes and everything? Does it stand a chance against Marvel Rivals?
I mean, it could. Again,
it can.
All they gotta do is just listen to their player base. That's all they gotta do.
Can I? You guys are both basically gonna say no. I'm gonna help wrap this video up right now.
Go.
And I'm gonna end it. Right. Check this out. Okay. Vince McMahon's theme song, WWE.
Wrong.
No chance! No chance in hell! You got no chance!